Have you ever had that feeling? You're sitting at a cafe, talking to a friend about, I don't know, buying a new hiking backpack. You don't search for it, you don't type it into your phone. You just say the words out loud.
And then, 2 hours later, you open Instagram or Google, and boom, there it is. An ad for the exact backpack you were describing.
Exactly. It feels like magic. Or maybe something a little more sinister. Like there's a tiny person living in your phone, taking notes. It freaks people out.
It is freaky. But here's the thing, it's not magic. And nobody is listening to your microphone, at least they don't usually have to. That eerily accurate prediction, that is the tip of the iceberg of what we call big data.
See, that term big data, it gets thrown around in every tech meeting, every headline. It sounds like just a lot of spreadsheets. But I feel like that definition doesn't quite capture the weight of it.
A lot of spreadsheets is like calling a tsunami a bucket of water. It's technically true that it's water, but the scale changes the nature of the beast entirely. When we talk about big data, we aren't just talking about volume, we are talking about a fundamental shift in how the world is understood.
So, if it's not just a massive Excel file, what is it?
Think of it this way. For most of human history, data was scarce. If you wanted to know something like how many people lived in a city, you had to go out, count them one by one, write it on paper, and store it in a filing cabinet. It was slow, expensive, and static.
Right. It was a snapshot.
Exactly. A blurry, black and white snapshot. Big data is a high-definition 4K live stream of the entire world happening in real time. It's defined by the 3 V's: volume, velocity, and variety.
Okay, break those down for me. Volume is obvious. There's a lot of it.
A lot doesn't do it justice. We create 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every single day. That's everything from your credit card swipes to the GPS signal your car emits to the number of seconds you hovered over a Buy Now button before clicking away.
That's the data exhaust concept, right? We're just walking around shedding information like dead skin cells.
That's a vivid image, but yes. And that brings us to velocity. It's the speed. Data isn't just sitting in a warehouse, it's flowing like a river. Stock market algorithms make trades in microseconds based on news headlines that came out a fraction of a second ago.
And variety?
That's the tricky one. Old data was structured rows and columns, numbers. Big data is messy. It's unstructured. It's the text of your tweets, the pixels in your photos, the tone of voice in a customer service call. It's chaos, but computers can now read that chaos.
Okay, so we have this massive, fast, messy river of information. But why does it matter? Why is data the new oil, as everyone loves to say?
I actually hate that metaphor.
You do? Why?
Because oil is a finite resource. You burn it, it's gone. Data is different. You can use the same dataset to solve traffic problems, then use it again to predict flu outbreaks, and then use it again to train a self-driving car. It's infinite. But to answer your question, it matters because of prediction.
Prediction. Like a crystal ball?
Better. A crystal ball relies on mysticism. Big data relies on correlation. It doesn't necessarily care why you do something, it just knows that you will do it.
Give me an example. Something real.
Okay, here's a classic, and it's a bit chilling. A few years ago, a major retail chain, let's call them Store X, figured out how to assign a pregnancy prediction score to female customers.
Whoa. Without the customer telling them?
Completely. They analyzed shopping history. They found that women in their second trimester suddenly started buying unscented lotions and certain vitamin supplements. They identified about 25 specific products that, when bought together, allowed them to estimate a due date within a small window.
So they could send coupons for cribs before the woman even told her family?
Precisely. And the story goes, an angry father stormed into a store manager's office, waving coupons for baby clothes that had been mailed to his teenage daughter. He was screaming, "Are you trying to encourage her to get pregnant?"
Oh no. I think I know where this is going.
The manager apologized, but a few days later, the father called back to apologize to the manager. It turned out there had been some activities in his house he wasn't aware of. His daughter was pregnant. The algorithm knew before the grandfather did.
That is incredible and absolutely terrifying.
That is the power of big data. It found a pattern in the chaos. Unscented lotion plus magnesium supplements equals baby on the way. No human could spot that correlation by looking at receipts. Only a machine processing millions of transactions could see it.
But that brings up a huge issue, doesn't it? If the algorithm knows us that well, where is the line? I mean, we're trading convenience for privacy. I like that Netflix knows I want to watch a sci-fi thriller on a Friday night, but I don't know if I like an insurance company knowing I buy high cholesterol foods.
You've hit the nail on the head. That is the dark side of the coin. We are moving into an era of surveillance capitalism. You aren't the customer anymore. You are the product. Your behavioral surplus, the data of your life, is being mined, packaged, and sold to advertisers or insurers.
And it's not just selling stuff, right? It's shaping behavior.
Absolutely. If an algorithm knows exactly what triggers your anger or your fear or your happiness, it can feed you content to keep you glued to the screen. It can nudge your political views. It can nudge your spending. It's not just predicting the future, it's actively constructing it.
That sounds dystopian. Like we're just puppets on strings made of code.
It can be. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. That same power? It's also revolutionizing healthcare.
How so?
Think about cancer research. In the past, a doctor might see a few hundred cases in their career. Now we can feed an AI millions of medical records, genetic sequences, and treatment outcomes. The system can spot patterns in gene mutations that no human could ever see. It's literally saving lives by predicting heart attacks before they happen.
So it's a double-edged sword. The same technology that invades your privacy could save your life.
Exactly. It's a tool. A nuclear reactor can power a city or destroy it. Big data is the same. The problem isn't the data, it's who owns it and who regulates it.
Let's talk about the who. Because right now, it feels like a very small group of companies holds all the cards.
They do. The tech giants. They have created what we call walled gardens. They hoard the data because data is competitive advantage. If you have more data than your competitor, your AI is smarter, your product is better, and you get even more users, which gives you more data. It's a feedback loop that leads to monopoly.
It's the rich get richer scenario, but with information.
And there's another layer to this bias. We tend to think of data as objective. Numbers don't lie, right?
Right. Math is math.
Wrong. Data is historical. If you train a hiring algorithm on 10 years of hiring data from a company that was sexist, the algorithm will learn to be sexist. It will look at the data and say, "Oh, I see a pattern. We usually hire men for engineering roles." So it starts filtering out women.
So we aren't just digitizing the world. We're digitizing our prejudices.
And cementing them. Because when a human is biased, you can argue with them. When an algorithm is biased, people just shrug and say, "Well, the computer said so." It creates a black box problem where we don't even know why the machine made the decision.
That's frightening. If I get rejected for a loan, I want to know it was because of my credit score, not because an algorithm decided people who buy my brand of shoes are risky borrowers.
Which is a real correlation, by the way. There are credit models that look at who your Facebook friends are. If your friends have bad credit, your score could drop.
You're kidding. Guilt by association?
Digitized guilt by association.
So, where do we go from here? We can't put the genie back in the bottle. We aren't going to stop using Google Maps or Amazon.
No, we aren't. We love the convenience too much. But we are seeing a shift. People are becoming data literate. We're starting to ask questions. Governments are stepping in with regulations like GDPR in Europe, trying to give users ownership of their own digital footprint.
Is it enough?
Probably not yet. The technology moves faster than the law. But the next frontier of big data isn't just about collecting more info. It's about small data and edge computing.
Wait, you lost me. Small data?
Instead of sending all your data to a massive server farm to be analyzed, your phone does the analysis right there in your pocket. The data stays with you. It's a privacy-first approach. It's harder to do, but it's where we might need to go to preserve our freedom.
That sounds more hopeful. A way to get the benefits without selling our souls.
It's a possibility, but it requires us to care. It requires us to value our privacy as much as we value free shipping.
That's a tall order.
It is, but think about the alternative. If we don't take control, we end up in a world where we have no secrets. A world where your car reports your speeding to your insurance, your fridge reports your diet to your health provider, and your phone reports your mood to your boss.
A digital panopticon.
Precisely.
You know, when we started this conversation, I was thinking about big data as just marketing, knowing which shoes I want to buy. But it's really about the very fabric of reality, isn't it? It's about how we perceive truth.
It is. We used to look at the stars to understand our place in the universe. Now we look at the data. We are building a digital mirror of our civilization. The question is, do we like what we see in the reflection?
And if we don't like it, do we have the power to change it? Or is the algorithm already driving the car?
That's the trillion-dollar question. Big data can predict a lot of things. It can predict the weather, the stock market, and your next purchase. But it cannot predict, and it cannot dictate human free will. At least, not yet.
Not yet. That's a haunting note to end on.
It keeps me up at night.
Well, on that cheerful thought, I think I'm going to go turn off my phone for a few hours.
Good luck. Just remember, even when it's off, the data is still out there.
Thanks for that, and thank you all for listening. Until next time, keep asking questions, and maybe check your privacy settings.
Couldn't hurt.
Goodbye, everyone.